Welcome to Building Profitable Relationships, the podcast where we talk with successful entrepreneurs and business owners who have built strong and profitable relationships with their customers, partners, and peers. In our conversations, we explore the heart and science of relationship building in the world of business. Welcome to another episode of Building Profitable Relationships, where we bring you inspiring stories, tips, and strategies for building strong relationships in your business. I am Yvonne A. Jones, your host and founder of the Building Profitable Relationships podcast. My guest today is Wendy Houghton, who is located in Springfield, Virginia. Welcome, Wendy.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate that.
You are very welcome. It's my delight. So let's go ahead and take advantage of all the time we have today and get started. Because for our audience is that Wendy will be sharing her approach to relationship building and her top tips for anyone who is looking to grow their business and brand through building stronger relationships. So, Wendy, you've built an international community, and we want to hear more about that. But first, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So I am a clarinetist and a coach. So I have two different businesses, and they both require great relationships. On the music side, if you're playing in a let's say you're playing in an orchestra, and you're having not a very good relationship with the conductor, or the conductor is not really communicating or having growing a relationship with the musicians, the music will not come out right. Just because they're not, because we're not, let's say the conductor is just conducting, and then on the backstage, he's not conversing with any of the orchestra members. He's sort of aloof and not really saying much to them. Then that puts kind of a sense of disconnect between the orchestra and the conductor. So then the final product of the symphony or whatever it is that we're playing doesn't come out as correct, because there was no synergy between the conductor and the orchestra. So that's one example of being able to just have relationships off of the stage with musicians, so that you can actually play together more harmoniously and beautifully. Because if you have a personal relationship with the people you're playing with, the music definitely comes out much more beautiful and musical. So on the other side, on the coaching side, as soon as I first started coaching, I started a Facebook group, because I knew I wanted to grow my audience, and I wanted them to know who I was, and to know, like, and trust me. So I started this group, and I immediately started reaching out to the people who joined. A lot of times when people create Facebook groups and other people join their groups, they don't really converse with them or don't reach out. But I tell myself, okay, this person joined. So I personally go to that person's, like, the messenger's private messenger, and personally welcome them and say, oh, hi, I just wanted to personally welcome you and thank you for joining my group, kind of thing. And that immediately gives them a warm sense of belonging to that group. And people have even commented when they come to the group, and I've done that little personal message to them. They come into the group and they say that they feel much more warm, like the whole group. It really shaped how they perceive the group as being warm and welcoming. So that's one way that relationships work in my coaching business. And also another really good thing to do is, if you are, you're looking for clients or collaboration partners, it's always great to first be clear who it is that you actually want to work with. Like, that's like the number one thing, is to know, look, if you have an idea of what you want to do. Like if you're helping someone to make a transformation, what is it that you're actually helping them transform, with their transformation? And then who are the actual people? So once you have that clear, then you're able to reach out to certain people that match what it is that you want to accomplish. So that's basically it in a nutshell for for how that works with relationships and business and music.
Awesome. That's a pretty big nutshell there, actually.
Coconut shell.
Yeah, kind of coconut shell. You mentioned some words that are so very relevant and so very important in the whole relationship building process. You spoke about synergy and harmony. And of course, we know that those two words are essential because if you're having a relationship with someone or a group of people, then it's important that the relationship has synergy. You're in tune with each other, and especially in what you do as a clarinet. You play the clarinet in an orchestra. That is so critical. And I love the illustration you gave about the fact that if a conductor is aloof and he doesn't have a relationship with the people, then the end result is not going to be as harmonious and as effective as it could have been. I also like where you touched on your business aspect and building the relationship in your Facebook community where people got a sense of belonging. And isn't that what people want, Wendy? People want to know that they're part of a community, a warm community. It's a safe place where they can find relief. It's a safe place where they can feel free to ask questions.
Mhm.
And anything else you would speak to about that? You mentioned quite a bit about that, but I think it's worthwhile if you mention that aspect about the community that you have been able to build around you.
Mhm. I think another important point is if they are like-minded, if everyone is like-minded and they understand, entrepreneurs have a certain way of thinking. When just, regular day-to-day general public people may not understand the way that we think. And so if you're in a community where everyone thinks the same way, they all have goals, different goals, but they're all reaching an ultimate vision that they have. A lot of people don't have visions, and I'm sure that most entrepreneurs are trying to get to a certain goal, vision that they've been trying to work towards. When the regular people who aren't entrepreneurs, probably a lot of them don't have goals that much. At least I've talked to a lot of people who don't. So it's actually a great opportunity for the like-minded people to get together and brainstorm and work together, collaborate, have that synergy you're talking about. It's so much easier when you're like-minded with everyone around you.
Absolutely. I agree with you. Now, you have talked quite a bit about your Facebook community, but I also know that you are very active on LinkedIn. So, how do you leverage social media and other digital channels so that you are able to engage and connect with your audience and build long-term relationships?
Oh, in terms of LinkedIn? Oh, so I think the first step is in order to create relationships on LinkedIn is to make sure that your profile is exactly the way that you want to be represented. A lot of times people have outdated or don't have enough on the LinkedIn profiles for other people to actually notice or resonate with them. So if you would like to be, which is a good idea to be visible on LinkedIn, have LinkedIn visibility. So that means the very first step is to optimize your profile so that anyone that you would like to grow a relationship can check out your profile and decide whether or not they resonate with you. And then you can go to their profile, hopefully that theirs would be optimized and up to date. But so that's the one way that that I make sure that if people would want to make relationships, that's what LinkedIn platform is all about, is growing relationships. It's not a salesy, at least it shouldn't be a salesy platform. It should be relationship building, growing relationships, and starting with the profile so that people can get to know you. LinkedIn has provided us with some great features, like the video. I don't know if you all know, but you can make a 30-second video that comes right on your profile photo. And also you have a little speaker looking icon. It's right next to your name. You can do a little 10-second introduction of who you are, pronounce your name. So those are two ways that you can really start a relationship with people, because they're getting to know you and you're being visible. So I would say, to answer your question, the first step is to get that profile optimized, up to date, so that people can understand your brand, your message, your style, your personality, and then people will be able to connect with you, and then all those conversations can get started and the relationships can get started. So that's how that's how the whole LinkedIn process starts.
Exactly. And then you take them off of LinkedIn and you continue building the relationship. Thank you for sharing that, Wendy, because I know that LinkedIn, for many people, it's still a puzzle. They're still not, for many people, they're still not understanding how to use it effectively. So great tips. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes.
Now, you have been building your relationships in your two types of businesses, on social media, off social media, in the music world, in the business world. Now, is there a success story that you can share about a particularly impactful relationship that you have been able to build through your business? And share with us how this has contributed to your success.
Well, I can think of someone that was early on of my coaching career. There was a man who I discovered. He had a huge LinkedIn group that I became a part of, but the first time I discovered him was during an interview that he was the person being interviewed.
Mhm.
So I was very intrigued by him. So I reached out to him, and he was so, you would think somebody that successful had so many things going on for him wouldn't really want to do anything with some new person here, but he was so genuine, down to earth, and he even helped me with I hadn't even paid him $1, and he helped me restructure or reformat what I put on my business card. This was back in 2012, before what we do right now, but so he actually helped me design the front and the back of the business card so it would look much more professional, and like when I would go out and do my in-person networking events. And I couldn't believe it that he just helped me do that, and I hadn't paid him a single dime yet. So I took that approach to helping people, people that I first meet. And so I do that myself because of how I felt when he helped me unconditionally. He didn't even ask for any payment or anything. Later, eventually I did, because I was so grateful. I said, how could I not work with him? So that's how I operate right now. I do all these free events, and then people see how I work, and they enjoy what I'm doing, and then or move on, which doesn't bother me at all, because maybe they're not interested in whatever it is that I'm doing. But at least the people that are interested in what I'm doing will get a sample of how I work with them. So that helps them want to decide whether or not they want to work with me, and a lot of times they do. So it all stemmed from that first relationship that I built at the beginning, when that coach helped me without me having to pay him anything. I was so amazed he did that. So I decided to do that myself.
Awesome. That is definitely a significant milestone for you in your career, in your business. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome. Yes.
So I know that you're very busy. You have two businesses to run, you have a family. How do you balance building relationships with managing the day-to-day demands of running a business? And if you want to even throw in a little bit managing your family at the same time.
Well, my family, my kids are grown and gone, so it's just my husband and me. So I think hands down, it's communication. That if we don't communicate what's going on, because he does his own thing too,
Mhm.
um, it turns into it turns into chaos pretty much. Oh no, you've got this. Oh no, so I just make sure that I communicate it with him. Um, that what I'm doing so that he understands what's going on. If I didn't, then he would wonder what's going on. What is she doing on the computer all the time? Kind of thing. Um, so I think the main thing is communication. That's how I would be able to juggle the relationships, and also people who are not in my family either. The friends of mine wonder what in the world she's doing. So I just communicate. They want to go socialize and go do something, but I have to communicate to them that I have some work to do. And like I don't, it's not a 9 to 5 job, so they don't really get it. They don't understand what
Mhm.
I'm doing online. So when I communicate that to them, then they think, "Oh, got it. Okay, I guess we'll check on you another time." So
Yeah.
basically it.
It can be challenging for us to convey for our friends and so forth to understand when we work these irregular hours, and
Hmm.
yeah, sometimes we have to do something with the family or something during the day, and it may end up that in the evening we have to be in our office a little later. But you made an excellent point on the value and importance of communication, because it has been said that communication is the lifeblood of a relationship, and that relationship, whether it's personal or business,
Hmm.
we have to we can't assume that other people know. We have
Right.
to communicate effectively, which is so very important.
Yes, and my husband and I have been married for 40.5 years, and that is the number one thing that I would say if somebody asked me, so what's your secret? That's what I would say, communication.
Mhm. Congratulations on that too.
Oh, thank you.
You don't hear that as often as you used to hear it. So
True.
40 years is wonderful. Wonderful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So Wendy, with your whole life, because we as solopreneurs, small business owners, we are the face of our business. We represent our business. Even if we have people who assist us, we are the face. So there's a personal brand and there's our business brand, but it all comes together and a reflection of us.
Mhm.
So, what advice would you give to someone who is just starting out in their business and they want to build strong relationships with their customers and clients, or they want to build a community around them, sort of like what you did with your Facebook and like what I did with my Facebook? I have a Facebook group of women 50 and wiser. So
Mhm.
whether it's a community or just their business or with their customers and clients, what would you say to them? What advice would you give?
Oh, let's see. So to mention what I mentioned earlier is to make sure that you're very clear on who it is that you would like to work with and what transformation you want to help them achieve. So once you figure that out, then make sure that since social media is such a huge thing now and for visibility, and that's the way you can find people that want to work with someone that can actually take care or change their problem. And so if you post or if you actually set up your LinkedIn profile, and if you've never actually done anything with LinkedIn, I would highly suggest that you at least put your profile together as far as being relevant to what you're doing and representative of your brand and your message, so that you're not always chasing people around. People are actually coming to you. So I would suggest that would be a great thing to do to starting out. And if LinkedIn has groups, but also Facebook. Facebook is more familiar to people. So I have a Facebook group, even though I do a lot on LinkedIn, because there are a lot of people on Facebook that don't do as much on LinkedIn. So that's why I have a Facebook group. So what you could do is start one and first name it, give a title to it where people can resonate with it as well, something that directly aligns with what it is the group is about, so that the people will want to come and join. Like, for instance, my Facebook group's name is oh gosh, coaches getting premium clients. That's what it's called. So if coaches out there want to get premium clients, they'll want to join the group. So that's the first step. And then once they do, like I was mentioning earlier, make it a personal welcome each one personally, each person, and then even ask them what they would like to learn in your group, so they can have this warm welcome. And then you'll also impress them, because they want you to, you will be able to accommodate what it is that they want to learn. And so they'll really appreciate that and be impressed. So I think that's for your business, that and building relationships. I think that is a really major thing. First, set up your profile on LinkedIn, and on Facebook too, but Facebook doesn't have nearly as much that you can fill in. Like LinkedIn has the most robust profile of all social media. So you can set up your LinkedIn profile, start a Facebook group, and then just give and give. Give them what they want, ask them what they want, and give it to them. That's the main thing. Ask them what it is that they want. You know that they want whatever it is your group is about, but then ask them specifically what it is that they want around that topic, and then just give it to them. Do a little training, do a little Facebook Live or something to teach it, and they'll really appreciate it. So that's my biggest advice in terms of starting relationships around your business. And if you want to get started, do even LinkedIn. If you think that your clients are there, you can do the same type of a thing. You can still do a LinkedIn. You can still do a Facebook group, because everyone's on Facebook. So, and then you can nurture them there. And then maybe you'll do some kind of an event, a free event, and they'll invite them to it. And that's where they can get to know, like, and trust you. And that's where you can offer your services at the end of the event. So that's kind of a lot to start with, but that is how I would start. If I was going to start all over again, that's how I would do it, for sure.
All right, thank you, Wendy. It sounds like a lot, but actually it could be broken down. If you were to make a list of this, it doesn't mean you have to do everything at one time.
Correct. Right.
So for the person who may not be quite knowledgeable and quite familiar with LinkedIn, start with Facebook. If you're already there, then create a group. And one of the things I liked about it is that by asking people, what would you like to learn? What would you like us to cover in the group? You're actually making people feel important, and that's what one of the needs that one of the needs that people have. They want to be made to feel special, and when you ask them, then you're assuming a leadership role where you're not coming off as a person who knows it all, but you are getting input from the people that you're leading in your group. So again, you're fostering excellent relationships.
Yes, exactly right. And
So,
it'll be second nature. It's not something that you're going to think, oh, so what should I do now? It's just going to be part of your DNA. It's just like, it's going to just be natural for you. So it won't be hard at all, because it's just building relationship, learning about different people, and them learning about you, but you mostly learning about them, so that you can know how to help them. So
absolutely. And I say yay to that,
Yeah.
that last point, because it's so very important in the whole relationship process of making people feel valued and showing them you're truly interested in them. Reminds me of Mary Kay Ash saying that, imagine that every woman wears an invisible sign that says, make me feel special. And
Oh,
if we are able to do that and have that attitude, then it's very difficult for us not to really build those relationships that they may not start as customers, they may not start as clients, because a lot of times we have that mindset that I'm going out there to get clients and customers. No, build a relationship first. Nurture the relationship, make the connection, nurture the relationship. And then,
mhm.
just like you with that first coach who helped you, you became his client
Right.
because of he showed interest in you, and he essentially did for you what you couldn't do for yourself, but he empowered you so that now you display the same attitude.
That is right. Yes, I feel like my entire what I do right now is all roots from my experience with him.
Mhm.
So
Oh,
I appreciate that experience. So I should go back and say hello to him.
yes, you should. Now, any last minute point you'd like to kind of anchor, or any last something that you'd like to share just as your last thought before we wrap up today?
Let's see. I think relationships are you can weave it into your business and into your life. Just how it is that you approach people or relate to people. It's the same between business and your personal life. It's just how it is that you are. As long as you are paying more attention to the person that you're building a relationship with, then it's going to turn into an amazing relationship. Unlike some of the people on LinkedIn, they just pounce on you once you connect, and then they want you to buy their stuff.
Hmm.
That is definitely not the way to grow relationships. So as long as you think about the person that you are conversing with and wanting to meet and know more, just ask more questions. Be curious. That's the key word. Be curious about them and what they're up to, and they'll really appreciate it, because maybe a lot of people are not as appreciative or attentive to them as they should be. And so when you're going to be different. They're going to remember you. So
And you're going to stand out for sure.
yes, that'll help you stand
Absolutely.
out.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Wendy. You have shared lots and lots of nuggets. And what do we, oh, the nutshell? You shared some, some big coconuts.
Right.
Thank you so much. And for everyone who took the time to watch or listen, because our podcast episodes are broadcast on YouTube, my YouTube channel, which is Yvonne, youtube.com/Yvonne A. Jones, or we are on Spotify. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Wendy, thank you again for being here.
Thank you
I
so much.
am I am Yvonne A. Jones, reminding you that when you focus on relationships, the money will follow. Bye for now, Wendy.
Bye bye.